Alright, welcome to another day of Ether Raids. We have some mixed results here in the matches that we're going to go over today. But this first one here is a win, so this one I'll just let it play out. Pretty straightforward Gale Force with the Camilla team. I really hate bringing Jimbro on this team because he doesn't really offer anything to my Gale Force composition here, but I don't really have any options from the batch that was available to select from that I could have used that would fit into this team comp, or none that I was willing to upgrade. I mean, I think Grommel was available, but I mean, what am I even doing with that unit? I don't need him. So yeah, Jimbro it is. I mean, it allows me to score higher. This one scores 400, 200 really, but times 2, so 400. So this made sense to slot him in and go to town. Get as much out of it as I possibly could in terms of usage. Kind of interesting though that for the way the week shaped up, I didn't see as many Heimdallers, thankfully, as I was anticipating. But that could change with the weeks to come, as she is definitely very very good on defense. I think once she gets her impending alternate version, things will definitely be changing in the game, so that's something to look out for. I pretty much, I feel like it's guaranteed. No, there's who else are they going to choose from, or select? But yeah, that aside, we have quite a bit to talk about, thankfully. Haven't really gone over or in depth into the latest banner that has come out. They swapped it up, got the legendary mythic banner in the middle of the month this time around instead of at the end, which is interesting but refreshing, because sometimes just change stuff, just see what happens, just change. Change isn't always a bad thing, or change is sometimes good. So we got, surprisingly, the old creepy man. I'm quite surprised that they put him out, because, well, it makes sense that he's on the double special, or he's on the double mythic banner, because on his own I don't think he'd sell. He's not that appealing of a unit design wise. His what he offers, his gimmick, it's pretty cool. Bonus copying, and you can pass it around as well, but I mean overall, I don't really see him being that great in comparison to what Tina does. A lot of what he's doing is to buff himself. He can pass it off, but not, from what I preliminary understanding, it's not to everyone. Just to someone that he does the positional with, so one person, kind of like what Chrom does. I don't know, what Chrom offers is good, but him being an offensive mythic, who else is available in that slot? You have Elm. I kind of value Elm more, just because of the undefended, until they counter the undefended. Well, I guess they kind of have, but you still get to choose, because the other mythic, Valley, who was in Dark Season, thank Lord, because we definitely needed some options, or an option in Dark Season to kind of shake things up, especially with Camilla being a menace now. Camilla offering the two, it's actually a fantastic counter. Yes, doing a good job. Counterplay, gotta commend them. It's actually something that is needed to kind of balance out the Lyn meta that we're currently in for Light and Dark Season. So I'm probably going to try to figure out a way, especially because she's a ranged nuke. If that was really her only thing, she would have been dead on arrival. So it's really good that she offers this distant, close counter support. So basically everyone can attack from everywhere, so it's definitely a good thing, and it essentially means that Lyn is pretty much done. I don't really see, well, I mean, she still has the opportunity to maybe Desperation KO something, but it's really down to who she attacks into at that point, and I don't think anyone on defense is really going to be losing. Of the current units, it's going to be kind of difficult to pick someone out that's going to lose to Lyn. from the current unit selections that we're currently running on defense. I don't really see it, especially with the miracle, the drive miracle support. It's going to be really tough for Lynn, so she might actually not Mythic Lynn. I'm talking about Emblem. Okay, here we go. This is the second match here. This one is a loss. I played this one really, really poorly. It was a bit too aggressive on this particular day. And I could have waited until turn 3 just to get the extra unit in and have additional action economy and then, you know, some additional buffs in there, which would have been very helpful in terms of how the team would have performed. But I was a bit overzealous and rash, and I just went in too far too quickly and gambled a trap that ended up in my downfall, because the action economy on this team is on Golveg, and Golveg Golveg tried to gamble and she lost. We tried to gamble with Golveg and we lost. So unfortunately, that's kind of what was this, 57? Yeah, 57 isn't high enough to clear the terrain, the hex trap. We have to drop another 10 on there. 67. I probably could have done that, you know. Oh my, you know, I haven't actually even changed any of my summoner supports for the longest time. I still have like Brave Edelgard, Fjorm, Sita as the units that are summoner supported, and I don't even really like use them that much anymore. So that's an additional 5 HP that I could have easily given. Like, nothing is optimized at the current moment. I'm just playing. Yeah, I don't know, excuses probably. Hardy Baron on Athos, not the greatest. You kind of want him to do the one shot, even if it's into someone that has Black Knight support. He would have still lost, as long as, because he's gonna get doubled. So it's probably better off for him to just one shot. But then his res is so high that he can typically live most things. I think he's a good pairing with Jimbro in terms of getting the magic save. Because of the vantage that he has, and the null counter disrupt, I think he has that as well, if I remember correctly. But yeah, I think he's a good option here in terms of unit selection. He was pretty much stopping Golveg from attacking, but I was going to go in there with Veronica anyway because she has the miracle and she doubles. So yeah, that was going to be the play, or you will see that happen eventually. But Golveg here was really the unit that I needed to go in and do stuff, and gambling the gravity trap. Maybe if I had started with Peony on the other side, it would have worked out a little bit better, but at this stage right here, I could have just backed out and then waited and tried again on the third turn, but I decided that I did not want to do that, and like I said, this is a loss. But yeah, back to the banner. Great units, for at least one great unit in Valley. I think she's a fantastic addition to Dark Season. In terms of who would I replace for her, it's a tough choice. Not dropping Loki, because Loki's great.
I'll take care of him.
Tree Man, possibly, but what he does is so unique that it's kind of hard to drop, you know. And then we have, like, from your nuke options, you kind of need a cleanser.
Why not?
So that you don't, well, do you need a cleanser anymore? Because the cleanser is really there to get rid of feud and undefended. Those are the two things that you want to get rid of. But if everyone has distant counter now, you probably don't need the cleanser anymore on Dark defense. I guess, does it mean, well, Valley herself isn't going to be too weak to Lynn. And the question is, who do you put Hardy Baron on? Because Lynn still has that desperation thing.
This way?
That's something to consider, because right now I'm thinking about maybe I could, you know, get rid of Celine on defense, who is currently the cleanser for Dark Season that I use. So that's a possible option. But then also you could remove what's her name, Rhea, and just run a melee frontliner instead. So that's something else you could maybe play with, just to get another swap out an armored unit for for a nuke. That's something that you could potentially do. Don't know how well that would go, but that's just something to consider. I think maybe
As you say.
swapping out... Saline might be the better play, since I don't really need the cleansing anymore.
Having fun?
And you could still swap Rhea out as well, both of them, and swap Rhea for a different duo, like let's say duo Valencia, and then get the cleansing anyway. I don't know, something to consider. But yeah, I think she's a fantastic unit in terms of how she's designed. They added a few extra things in there just to make her function better in comparison to what she was in the story. So I think she's a fantastic addition to defense. Definitely looking forward to playing with her and can't wait. Well, we'll get to summon sooner, so that's great. Can't wait to see how people cook up ideas with her. So Gold Victor got stuck, and that's pretty much GG's. That was pretty much the thing that lost me the match, because ultimately she'll get attacked by the bow unit here, because Bulwark means that I can't reach the bow unit in the back, and I didn't want to leave Hathern around because I think Hathern would have also gotten the KO there. So Camilla needs to go, bow unit needs to go, Hathern needs to... There's 4 units that need to die here, and I only have 3 attacks because I took Gale Force off Elm and gave him Nimble Beast. I think maybe he would have failed to hit the Gale Force as well, so it probably didn't matter. But yeah, not enough actions here to resolve the issue, which is to take out everyone. Bad gamble. Well, it's not a bad gamble. A gamble is a gamble. It's 50-50. You're going to get it wrong at some point. And we got it wrong this time, so unfortunate. Yeah, it was really unfortunate. But yeah, very happy with the units, or at least one of the units that's going to be made into a Dark Mythic. Old man, still think he's a creep. Very surprised that they picked him. But I guess he's the only other male OC from the banner, so it just made sense to use him, since we already have Rune. Or not from the banner, from the story. So it just made sense to use him since we already have Rune, unless they're going to give us a... Well, we already have Mythic Rune, so we can't get another one. They're not going to do that, so it just made sense to add him in, I guess. But I'm not, like, ecstatic about summoning for him. I'm probably going to get him because he's an offensive Mythic and, gives you an option for that 6th slot, so you don't have to run Elm on every team, even though I think I probably still will.
Why wait?
But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to make of him. Like, I saw some comments saying that he's a great partner for Camilla, but I mean, Camilla's already, like, you don't need her to hit any harder than she currently does. Unless we're going into a meta where that will be a requirement. Can you imagine that? Where Camilla will need to hit even harder. Yikes. Not great. That's not something to look forward to, but I think at least for Light and Dark season, there's some balance there. Astra season, it's still a little bit, yeah, it's still not that great, I don't think. I think Heimdallr is still, I think, the most dominant thing here, in my opinion. So, yeah. So far, in terms of combat capabilities, Heimdallr actually hits a bit harder than I anticipated. I mean, every time I see her attacking the Corn, the combat forecast is a little bit concerning. But then, the damage reduction kicks in, the flat DR, and I'm like, alright, you got the tings, you got the 0s and the 13s, and you're like, okay, it's not so bad. But the damage output is actually quite high. If there's ever a meta where the flat DR is no longer so prominent, I think she'll actually make quite the bit of a powerful nuke here. Here we go with Golveg dying because she flies, and there's an arrow being shot at her. That's not great. So Golveg goes bye-bye, unfortunately. Yeah, big gamble. If we were able to get that gamble off, we would have won the game pretty easily. But yeah, big gamble, big losses. Didn't work out in her favor, unfortunately. So we get punished. GG's, man, he got me. Alright, welcome to another match of Ether Raids. This match is a big mistake. You'll see it for it. Well, I'll just talk about it alongside other things, but man, this one really I messed up big time on here. Hopefully I have enough score to recover or maintain. We'll see how it goes, but this is the defense. Essentially the plan was just to tank it, since the last attempt with the player phase team did not go very well. My player phase strategies this week have gone poorly thus far, not very well. And it looks like I've essentially shut my brain off. I think I've shut my brain off and gone back into tanking mode, because the tanking strategies seem to be working, but then I'm still making mistakes. I haven't made this many mistakes with pots for quite a while. I missed both of these pots here because of a miscalculation in terms of how Corrin's terrain works. Like I said, still not very familiar with it in terms of what goes where, but you'll see it a little bit later on in terms of the error. Hopefully I remember to point it out. But yeah, it was a really big mistake that I made. So yeah, we got the Ronin here, who is essentially the main nuke, and everyone pretty much warps around Marth. Here we go with the Corrin terrain, how massive it is, and that is essentially keeping them at bay, for the time being. This matchup, I'm very happy that Corrin wins the matchup versus Duolier. Granted, he's probably not getting, well, I think, actually, no, he should be getting this within 3 spaces, no? I think he should be getting full bonuses, but she just wins the speed check, which is great. Not the first time that we've seen it, but I'm glad that it's consistent. To say, at the very least, it's a consistent win for her. So first turn, pretty straightforward. Yeah, pretty much was just gonna set. I reset, stay the same, don't really move anything because there's no real reason to go forward here. Maybe I should have, but I don't know. It seemed fine from just looking at the map layout, where the pieces were on the board. Seemed to be okay to just stick around in the same position. That aside, yeah, just let it play out. It happens on turn 3, the mistake that I make here. You'll see it in a bit. I think Hector is a really good option still as a save unit, even though we have a couple of units that kind of have replicated or they've copied his gimmick, but they still don't do it to the same extent that Hector does, which I think is a positive for his longevity. I didn't really expect him to last this long, all things considered. But being able to lay down the terrain mid-phase or start of turn, whenever he does it, seems to be the thing that's keeping him around, as alongside the fact that he works very well with like Shield Fighter, Hardy Bearing. Those two combinations on this Hector are actually very strong on him, and the fact that he has that preferential A skill, it seems to be aging well. The distant counter, all of these things really work in his favor, so it's good to see him sticking around. Don't know how much longer he'll have left in him. The red color is actually beneficial for him as well, but let's see how much longer he's able to tank. I think he's a great near save, to be honest. Currently in the current meta, he works out to be a pretty decent near save, but this I should have probably started backing up here, because I need the pots. I've already missed 1 pot so far this week, and really the goal was to avoid missing any more pots. This was we got 1 more match left after this, but this one here, we really needed both of the pots to secure, to ensure, or at least one of them, to ensure that we can get to or remain in the vault. And I made a crucial judgment error here. Decided to just wipe everything off the board. It was a bit rash of me, but I was feeling a little bit trigger happy, I guess. I don't know how to describe it, but it made sense at the time to just attack everything, and I figured that Hector would have stayed alive because the ice would have popped up in a position that would have blocked him off, but that did not happen. Unfortunately, I miscalculated the tile that the ice terrain was going to spawn on, and as a result of that, everyone pretty much ended up everyone pretty much suicided into Corrin, which was not great. Just looking at my lift, I think I should be able to maintain
Am I so
the vault. I should be able to make it to tier 38 if I use the team that scores maximum points, which for this season for me it's 200. So I think if I use that team, I should be able to maintain vault. Granted, no like major losses, like no minus 50s, or at least hopefully I don't take a significant beating on defense. But yeah, like if I take like a minus 100, then it's GG's, it's over. But if we get like 2 wins on defense, I think we should have enough to stay in tier 38. That's the most that we can do without being able to play an additional match, or a double match. I can only play a single because based on the math that I did, I think we only have enough to get 80 ether, and you need 100 ether to play a double. So we're only going to be able to play a single match and get the pots. That's 10 plus 30 is 40. Not enough to play another match afterwards. So yeah, I made the gamble here. Was it a gamble? I paused to think about it, and I was like, well, Corrin should be fine. I think the ice would have, blocked Hector out. Granted, I should have realized that this was not the case. The other option was just to leave Marth alive, but I kind of wanted to make space to go over to the pots. So I was thinking of leaving Hector for last since he had the lowest mobility, and I didn't think he would get to me. I was just going to, fly around him, but getting Marth off the board seemed like a good idea at the time. And then it would have, allowed Elm here to just go straight up and get that pot, and then I'd figure out a way to get the other pot, beside Camilla. That was that was the mistake. That was the mistake indeed. Because the ice stirring spawns 2 spaces away from Corrin, and not 1 space, which is actually where I needed it to spawn. Or I was thinking it would spawn there, but as you can see, Hector ended up on the ice terrain, and yeah, everyone just kind of attacked, which was really unfortunate. There's no takebacks. You can't go back here, rewind time, and try to get a redo here, unfortunately. Maybe one day they'll introduce that feature. Maybe Ether raids will get that difficult that they'll have to introduce the rewind feature, or the one that you get from Fey Pass. Maybe they'll have to put that into Ether raids someday, just because of how hard the game mode will become. But for now, once you make a mistake, you just have to suffer the consequences. And that was pretty much that. Yeah, no pots. We're gonna have to cross our fingers and hope that I maintain tier 38. Let's see how it goes. GG's. See you in the next one.